Virgo voice. Raw radio. With the Virgo voice. Raw radio. With the Virgo voice. Raw radio. Raw radio, where we share what's hot. We never really talk about what's really not. Keeping you in touch with community, self-consciousness, and unity. It's the Virgo voice. Raw radio.
Welcome to Raw Talk Radio, where we share a little bit of what's hot and less of what's not. And I'm your host, the Virgo Voice. Joining me in the building is my fabulous crew. I've got Mars from Marsette's Moment. We will have the fabulous Sarah Ware from the Ware Report, along with the Wingless Angel and a host of fabulous guests today. Welcome, everybody, to Raw Talk Virgo Voice Radio. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Fabulous. Glad to have you guys here and joining us today. It's going to be an exciting segment. Got lots of cool things to talk about. But first and foremost, before we get started today, I want to send a special shout out to my fabulous co-host, Mr. Marcette Mangum, and his fabulous, ever-loving, lasting wife. If we can't get a little glimpse of her, I want to wish them both a phenomenal happy anniversary. How many years is it today that she's had to put up with you, Marcette?
I've been held hostage now for was it 9 years? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's gonna have to whop you real good from the side if you couldn't get that numbers right. If you couldn't get those facts and figures, you got to know how long it's been. My husband forgets all the time.
That should tell you something. But I mean, God, we worry about other stuff. We got to make sure, the bills are paid. There's no squirrels in the garage, stuff like that. I mean, that just takes up a lot of our mental brain power. So, I mean, the numbers and things, we know that you all are going to be on that. So we deal with make sure there's no leaks in the roof, toilets working.
I see. Well, we just want to congratulate you.
Because I can't think about those things. I gotta make sure that there's gas in the car. Always pass up the gas station and go everywhere else. But my dad was like, the cars are never here for me to get fixed or work on. Now I get it. So.
Well, we are just wishing you many, many more moments of happy, joyful bliss. You and Michelle enjoy today. Get out and have a great day, and many, many more from our Raw Talk Radio family and our guests. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we enter into today's segment, for those of you that are just now joining us, are surrounding creative concepts during COVID. And so it's going to be a great set of topics. Marcette's going to share some exciting information with us as well, along with a very special guest that we have joining us during the latter part of the segment. But as we kick off our creative concepts, I found that a real interesting fact that I thought, wow, what a great segue. So Forbes just announced just today, a fun fact that $91 billion has been saved by the American population due to people working from home. And so I'm like, gosh, that's a staggering figure, but not so shocking for me. The more that we stay at home, we're not spending money on fuel. We're not spending money on air conditioning, heating, lunch. I mean, the list goes on and on. But the efficiency of it, is really what I'm most excited about, that companies are actually turning profits during COVID as we work from home. So those managers and those leaders and those C-suite executives that often have worried about, could we see productivity and could we be profitable during a time like this? They are really excited to see facts and figures come out like this. So it's been pretty cool. Has anybody heard about that? Had anybody heard about it before now?
I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, but
great savings, but I hadn't heard that number.
Yeah, I really was like, wow, that's pretty, darn awesome. So the American people are definitely putting in work. I think COVID has been yet a blessing and a curse, but one of the ways that we've been able to work from home and be comfortable is through creating our own dynamic spaces. I'm here in my studio that I have for my home studio for the station, and I try to make it as comfortable as possible. A lot of people have asked me, what background are you using? Actually, my living wall is a part of my home environment, so I have a living wall in the home, but I have my own designated space for the radio show, and then we've got office spaces and a number of things. But once the girls came home from college and have graduated, I've found it more and more challenging to delineate between these private, intimate spaces. So it's been one of those things that we've had to try to, figure out how can we create our own lane and create our own dynamic spaces. So I was like overwhelmed with joy when I got this special invitation to join this special sisterhood. And I'll admit, I didn't really know what it was about. I hadn't heard of a she shed before. And so I was really excited to just get in there and dive deep and explore more and meet some other women and learn about some things that they were doing. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce to our audience Dr. Shon, the founder of the Sisterhood of the She Shed, and her fabulous partner in crime, Dr. Lakshmi Emery. They're joining us from Sisterhood of the She Shed, which is the fastest growing all-female empowerment group on Facebook. And we are so excited. So excited to have you guys. I mean, so I'm going to share my screen here for a second because I think a picture is just worth 1,000 words. I don't think we could do it good justice ourselves to just think about it. So I'm going to share this real quick so you guys can see. Can you guys see the she sheds?
Yes.
All right, fabulous. So Shon, talk to us a little bit about the Sisterhood of the She Shed, why you started it, and what is a she shed for what we're seeing.
Sure. Well, I think that it's important that your viewers and your listeners know that this thing started out of really a passion to just find my own space and sanctuary of peace at home. We're all at home. I have a husband. I have my parents. I have 5 kids, of which 2 live at home. Two at home. One's in high school and one's in college. So everyone's e-learning and working from home and making do with what we need to do during this pandemic. And so I needed a space for me. My husband has a man cave. My kids have what I'm calling playroom spaces where they can go and play video games and kind of unwind. And I didn't have a space. And so this summer, it was easy. It's warm weather. So I made my space outside on my back deck. I have hammock. I have everything I need to do work. I bring my laptop out here and I do what I got to do. But I started thinking, what am I going to do when it gets to be fall? It gets cold in Chicago. I could go inside and I could use a spare bedroom. But I looked in my backyard and I said, you know what? I have a storage shed that's underutilized. It just has all of my kids' items from when they were growing up. I'm one of those moms that keeps some of everything, the school papers and all the projects and all that kind of stuff. So it had all that stuff. So I thought I'm going to clear that out and start creating my she shed space, my space where I can go to create, unwind, think, do work, but just be me, a space, a way that's dedicated for just me. And so I thought I'm going to share this opportunity and this idea with some friends of mine. And I fully thought that it might be about 20, 30 women that might join me on Facebook and we could just chat with each other, share stories, share encouragement, find a literal space, whether it's, a physical space like mine, a she shed, actual shed, or find, a space in their home, whether it's a closet, a tub, a room, a basement, a space where they can just claim, have vision, create, and be women. And I'm gonna tell you, Jackie, I was so incredibly encouraged to find that we now have almost 1,600 women joining in this she shed. It's called the Sisterhood Society of the She Shed. Joining in the she shed, 1,600 women, and just started weeks ago. Trying to pour into them to just encourage, and they're encouraging me too to just be who we are, empower each other to find our mental wellness peace. So it's been great. it's been a lot of fun. The pictures are great. The vision boards are great. In fact, Dr. Lakshmi, she's our top contributor. This woman, let me tell you something. She posted a she shed picture that was off the chain, and it kicked off some amazing conversations.
It
She
did.
posted, you tell them what you posted because that thing was
That's
the
funny.
bomb with the rooftop and all this. She just took it to a whole nother level.
Lakshmi, tell us about it. Tell us
Yeah.
about it.
Right. So it was just something I found. It's definitely not my she shed, and in fact, I do not have a she shed per se at this point in time. But it's something that I found on Pinterest actually, and it's actually a tiny home. But on top of the she shed, it had a rooftop, and so in Chicago we love rooftops, especially in the summer. So I thought, this is the type of she shed that I would want. I would want a rooftop she shed, a 2-level she shed, where I could have champagne. I could have my friends over, relaxing, apart from the house. So it's sort of just part of my vision board in terms of, what I would want in a she shed. But as I said, I don't have one yet. Shon's definitely an inspiration, and he founded the group. And, I appreciate her, including me as a moderator. I think she saw that I was posting a lot. So she said, hey, she might as well be a moderator.
That's
So,
right.
yeah. So, and we run and we know each other. So that's sort of how I became involved with it.
And
But
Jackie, I'm actually outside right now of my she shed because I'm doing work on this thing today. So I
We can
apologize.
hardly hear you, Shon.
You can't hear me?
I can hear Shon. I can hear
Not,
you, Shon.
not a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, I hear you.
okay. I hope y'all can hear me okay. I'm saying that I'm actually
Yeah.
outside my she shed today. You can see all this
Okay.
crazy behind me. We're putting in drywall because I had posted, and Lakshmi, she posted behind me on this, and I thought I could get away with a she shed with no insulation.
Oh no,
And
not in Chicago.
my she shed ladies were like, "Are you kidding me? You live in Chicago? No way!" So I had to get my husband involved and my son involved. So today is the day we're putting in the insulation and drywall so that I can be warm this fall. So I'm actually doing work there.
Love it, love it, love it. I love it. So talk to me about what I've noticed on the site is that a lot of women have spaces that are less well defined. They're not like 4 walls, they're other spaces. So can a she shed does it have to be defined by 4 walls as a true house like structure, or can it be something other?
Sure, I can share what I've been finding, and then Lakshmi, you please, jump in, cut me off, whatever, and share what you've been seeing. Um, some women are having actual sheds, like I said, but some people are converting or using space at home.
Yeah.
Some women are really finding their peace on their front porch, their back porch. They're, utilizing part of their closet. Some of them have large walk-in closets. And so, us girls, we like our clothes and our accessories. So they're
Yeah.
finding a way to, put lounge areas in there, writing materials in there, wall structure, but just a place for you. So,
Right.
Lakshmi,
And
yeah.
yeah, and as I said, in my home, and I think I shared this on the she shed when they did Shon did a on me. But I said when we built our home, we finished our basement and we had, a dance room for my daughter who's now 16, complete with ballet bar and everything. And we had a cigar room built for my husband, for him to relax. And then when we were done, I realized I didn't have a space. I had to, where's my space to relax? So, in thinking about that, I've actually been looking at our unused front living room, which most people in their homes have a room that they never use. And so I've been thinking about how I would close that off, how I would make it into sort of a an office slash second office, since we have 2 people working at home, and slash she shed sort of space for myself, where I would make it both functional but also a place for me. That's sort of what my immediate plans are in terms of a she shed. As Shon said, not everyone has the ability to build on their property or wants to build on their property, but they can designate a space in their home just for themselves. And that's what we're encouraging.
I love that. I like the idea that you're bringing it inside the home and that you don't have to necessarily think of it as a traditional, four walls outside of the home where you have to build something like what Shon is doing. But
Yeah.
one of the things that I did discover, I did some research because I have to have a she shed. I've gotten so caught up in it. I have been searching and researching and looking. I actually found through the site, I contacted the modular people that have the more modern looking ones because I built a whole
Oh,
new backyard dynamic this summer, and it's pretty
okay.
modern. And I wanted to kind of keep with that theme. And so they run anywhere on the low end from 5,000 to get the ones built through the modular people up to 25, 30,000. It just depends upon
Oh,
how fancy you get. And I
okay.
like Shine. I want to have it insulated because if I do decide to put it on the property, one, I want to be able to take it with if we move or go elsewhere, Two, I want to be able to use it year round. So I know Sean's going to be doing. Sean, can we get a little sneak peek?
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
I'll show you. Let's see if I can get this camera right. Let's see here. Okay, so this is, let me back up a little bit here. So this is like the walkway area, leading to the she shed. And it's kind of the forgotten part of the backyard that's pretty wooded. And it's like,
Nice.
your kids might go back there and build a fort and play, all these crazy things when they're kids. But now I've got
Mm-hmm.
this space back here. And as you approach it, what's going on the inside is some insulation installation. And so that's my son, one of them. That's Trevor. And then my husband, Greg, who's thrilled to have to do this today, right? So they are doing some measuring, if you can see. Can you see that? Of
Yeah.
putting the lower level of the below window installation in of the drywall. We actually insulated the windows this morning, and so that we could prevent those drafts. And so they are like, when are you getting off of there so you can get back to business? You're supposed to be hanging drywall with us. And so that's
And this is why we can't worry about what year it is. You got brothers installating she sheds. This is what I'm saying.
And he's one of your
Exactly
fabulous
what I'm
frat brothers, Marcet. Her husband's one of your frat brothers too. He's putting in your frat brother to work.
This is what I'm saying, and that's what I was telling my other half that Dr. Tyler, one of her sorority sisters. This is what we do. Alpha men are always trying to make it happen for the Delta. It's always,
make it happen.
We can't worry about what year it is. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure.
Right.
We need a he said. I'm looking at my Google calendar. Am I on the wrong course?
I'm hearing both of you all talking simultaneously. John's talking, Marcet's talking.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, now you both want to be quiet.
No, I was trying to make sure I'm on the right show.
Yeah.
No, this is nice, though. This is really, women have always been able to be creative and figure out, carve out a space to relax and relate and release in a way that men are just now learning how to do. And this is why you all live longer. So, we definitely take some cues from you all on this aspect.
Hadn't thought about it from that vantage point, but I definitely can see a point there. I would think of it would be the flip side of the coin, that we probably wouldn't live as long because we are out here doing so much more. The women wear so many hats, and from the corporate space, from mothering to whatever. And we often, like Lakshmi mentioned, we don't create and carve out that space for ourselves. And so it becomes challenging. And then we find ourselves trying to discover, how we can reinvent ourselves. I will tell you, Shon, I think that you're onto something big with the Sisterhood of the She Shed, beyond just brick and mortar environments where we can, have an opportunity to engage and bond. I think that the arena, the audience, the little community that you started online is a great space. We should do more when we're going online and talking about topics of the hour, things that you bring to the She Shed, because I know the first thing I thought about is that every morning before I move, I meditate. And I think about how a lot of women don't know how to meditate. They're lost because our thoughts are overflowing. I know Shon and I both have that going. We've always got something else going on, so our minds are like constantly racing. And so
Mhm.
knowing how to meditate, Lakshmi, maybe you can help us in that regard, helping us learn how to relax as women, and find true solitude in these she sheds, so to speak.
Right. Well, I think, a lot of people have a ritual like that in the morning where they sort of center themselves, whether it's, scrolling through Facebook, whether it's, looking at their emails, getting their day organized. I think it is important to have that, sort of touch point in the morning where you just focus in on, yourself and sort of organize your thoughts and organize your day. It could be something as simple as praying. Some people get on a prayer call first thing in the morning when they wake up. Other people actually practice meditation, and both of my parents have been practitioners of transcendental meditation since the 70s and taught my sister, Nanda, and I to meditate from an early age as well. But I think there are a lot of different ways that people can, center themselves. And I think, part of the concept of the she shed is to have a space where you can do that uninterrupted, that is your zone and that your family knows, they can't, just enter anytime, especially if the door is closed. Some people have signs where it says, she shed, no men allowed. I've seen some of those signs on our Facebook page. But I think it's just about setting up those expectations, those, barriers to your peace and making sure that people don't walk in and interrupt your peace and letting them know that this is your time to focus on yourself. And so, I think that it's the she shed is exactly where you would practice that sort of, self meditation and prayer.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to having many opportunities to focus, to learn. I'm sure you ladies are going to create many opportunities for us to have these kind of discussions, and to learn how to do these kinds of things. That's the nice thing about the virtual world, that it's, brought us an opportunity to engage where we would not have otherwise been able to. If I'm tired, if I'm at home and I don't feel like leaving the house, I'm a little more willing to do these types of things because I can kind of do it virtually. They say we get overwhelmed by Zoom, but I think it's also has its place. And so I'm just thrilled about the Sisterhood of the She Shed. I can't wait to see the reveal of Dr. Kyle's She Shed. I'm like so excited. I could not wait. We mentioned something key about in the morning having that conversation. And I know that Dr. Kyle has the morning lift that we lift us up. That name just speaks to me in so many regards. We need that boost to start the day because how we start our day is how we end our day. And people don't realize that often enough. So, Shon, you want to talk about the morning lift before we have you guys go? I think she's frozen.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So, the Morning Lift Show is my new radio show. It airs every Monday morning at 8 a.m. It's part of, a larger ministry that I have called Faith Forward Ministries. Radio show, the focus will be mentally well. And so the show each Monday morning, which airs on tons of platforms, iHeart, Intellectual Radio, on Facebook Live, TuneIn, Spreaker, to name a few, and will now be on Roku, so you can watch it on TV. But the
Mm-hmm.
guests are all experts in their own right in those four areas. And so when they come in, they're sharing nuggets and encouragement and advice for us on how to get us spiritually well, physically well, emotionally well, and mentally well. And like Lakshmi said, that might be prayer, that might be yoga and meditation, it might be the foods that we're eating. So we're going to have some chefs on the show. It might be opportunities to connect with other women or groups. And so I'm excited because the show just started on August 31st, and I'm telling you, Jackie, my calendar is full with guest speakers all the way through Thanksgiving. So
Mm-hmm.
that is so
Great.
encouraging to me that people
Yay.
want to come on and share their advice. So make sure you join us at 8 a.m. on Monday mornings.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, Lakshmi and Shon, I'm so glad to have had you guys on the show. I think that the Sisterhood of the She Shed is going to grow leaps and bounds. I think, what we saw happen in just a few days is going to, catapult and continue to grow. Marcette, I think that Michelle deserves to have her own she shed. I think that would be an awesome thing for her to have a space separate.
You're breaking up. What you say?
Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try it.
I must be in an area with bad
Hey,
reception.
every soror deserves a she shed, okay? Especially so we definitely want to make sure that she gets. But even if she doesn't, we would be glad to share ours with. We're going to be looking forward to sharing the reveal of Lakshmi's living room sheets. I should say, I don't even know, we're going to call it her private female domain and
slash office.
slash office. So we'll look forward to seeing that, and we'll look forward to having you guys back on the show when you guys do the big reveal. Shon, get some rest out there today. Don't work them over too hard. We're looking forward to seeing the end results, and thank you for creating this dynamic space to empower women. I love it. I love it. I couldn't get enough of it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us on the show. Really do appreciate it.
Right.
And
yes, thanks
if you
so
want
much.
to join us, you have to either join us on Facebook directly, go into the Sisterhood Society of the She Shed. We'd love to have you there.
Yep.
If you want to go on the webpage and learn more about it and then join us, you can go to www.sheshedsociety.com. We love to have you.
I love it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, safe weekend. Be sure you guys are wearing those masks. All right, ladies.
Yep.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right, Marcette, it's us, and we're up live, and it's just you.